Sawadee Krap, I'm JP Mestanza. It's February 11th. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by... Key leaders of Phuket business associations have filed a joint request addressed to Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha to reconsider the ban on local administrations and private businesses from buying Thai government-approved vaccinations for COVID-19. Phuket Chamber of Commerce President Tanusak Pungdit and Phuket Tourist Association President Bumikiti Rungtangnam together handed the formal request to Phuket Governor Narongwoncheo yesterday, along with several other representatives from various business and trade associations around the island. The vaccine rollout in Thailand is set to take place in 3 phases, the first of which will begin this month once the kingdom receives the first batch of doses from the already FDA-approved AstraZeneca company or the one from the yet-to-be-approved China-based Sinovac Biotech. This week, government officials in Bangkok said the first phase, which runs from now until about May, will only see the central government in Bangkok allowed to purchase, manage, and distribute the vaccines. The Phuket private sector, and separately, the mayors of Phuket Town, Chalong, and Patong all said they would independently buy the vaccines from the government and distribute it themselves to locals. Yesterday's request by leading figures in the Phuket private sector, it saw them call on the government to reconsider and allow Phuket local municipalities and the private sector here to purchase the doses directly from the government, citing Phuket's tourism-dependent economy that has been heavily affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Their hope is to open Phuket to international tourists by October under a project titled Phuket First October, but that plan relies on at least 70% of the island's population vaccinated by October. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. Pro-democracy groups have vowed to intensify their protests and lead 2 million people to rally this year in Thailand after several protest leaders were detained on royal defamation charges earlier this week. About 1,000 protesters gathered at Pathum Wan intersection for a second consecutive day in Bangkok to demand the immediate release of leaders along with their 3 demands of the resignation of the Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha, charter change, and reform of the monarchy. At about 8:20 p.m. on Wednesday, during a face-off of at least 100 protesters and police, explosion sounds were heard a few times in Chula Soi 5 behind the police station, with reports saying it was tear gas canisters exploding, although details on that are still unclear. Chaos ensued, but nobody was hurt. 10 protesters, including 2 minors, were arrested briefly before being released later on Wednesday. The movements have been calling for an end to the use of the lèse-majesté laws, or Section 112 as it's known in Thailand, which punishes anyone with up to 15 years in prison for defaming the monarchy. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. Police say they have finally arrested the owner of the illegal gambling dens in Rayong and other areas of the east of Thailand. 56-year-old Somchai Duty Kitnet was arrested by police in a raid of his home in Rayong this morning, and he's believed to be the owner of the 2 illegal casinos that were linked to over 500 COVID-19 cases in Rayong and had to temporarily shut down the province. It's unclear whether he's also accused of also having owned other illegal casinos in the east, including Chonburi and Chanthaburi provinces, that were also linked to other COVID outbreaks as well. The news comes just a day after a special panel appointed by the Prime Minister found that 10 cops and administrative officials in Rayong were guilty in allowing the illegal gambling dens to exist in that province. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. Phuket Extra will be right back after this. Welcome back to Phuket Extra. It took Kusodam rescue workers about 15 minutes to catch 2 large king cobras at a house in Sri Sutorn, central Phuket, yesterday morning. The snakes, which included a 4-meter-long male king cobra and a female king cobra that was about 3.5 meters long, they've taken to officers in the Phang Nga Wildlife Nursery Station, who will release them to the wild. Just late last week, Kusodam rescue workers warned people in the Mu 2 area of Pak Lok to beware of king cobras near their houses after 4 large king cobras work hard in the area in the past month. And Thailand officials confirmed 201 new COVID-19 cases today. The new total is now 24,104 cases since the outbreak began. The death toll remains 80. 82% of total patients have recovered. And that's it for Phuket Extra today, brought to you by the lyrics below. Join us again tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
คุณมองเห็นอะไรไหมครับ ถ้ามองไม่เห็นเดี๋ยวเราจะย้อนภาพให้ดูทีละมุม ถ้ามองจากรถที่อยู่ด้านหน้าคุณจะเห็นชายขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์ตามมาด้วยความเร็วปกติ ถ้ามองจากคนที่นั่งอยู่ข้างทางคุณจะเห็นชายขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์ผ่านไปด้วยความเร็วปกติ แต่ถ้ามองจากคนที่ขับรถตามหลังมอเตอร์ไซค์คันนี้มันติดไม่มีไฟท้ายก็เหมือนไม่มีคุณอยู่บนถนนตรวจสอบไฟท้ายให้ใช้งานได้อยู่เสมอ